Hey there, Ro here from Life's Tough Questions, and today I'm going to be talking to you about driving with type 1 diabetes. When driving a car in Australia, there are many laws that one must abide by. Don't drive above the speed limit, wear your seatbelt, don't drink and drive. But have you ever heard of above 5 to drive? Unless you're a type 1 diabetic, you may have never heard of this one. You see, if your sugar level is below 5, then you must not drive. Now, yes, although it is virtually impossible for someone to know if you're driving below 5, if you were to get in an accident, much like in the case of being drunk, driving with a sugar level below 5 is considered dangerous, negligent, and even in some cases, your recklessness to act upon knowing that you had a sugar level below 5, it can result in you being charged. Now, does this mean you need to check your levels every time you go to drive? Well, not exactly, but this day and age, with all the great technology we have, it is really just a phone tap away to see if it's safe to drive. And if not, a simple sugar boost should be enough to put those numbers back at a safe level to drive in around about 10 odd minutes. The irritating thing about this are those times where you just want to spontaneously go for a drive, or times like when you slept in and you're late for work and you rush to get ready, smash down that liquid breakfast and jump in the car, only to realize that you're on a low and you're going to have to wait until your levels are boosted enough to drive. Ugh, it can be so frustrating. Because of this, most type 1 diabetics have an emergency hypo kit in their car. This might be some jelly beans, could be a bottle of Coke or juice, or some other kind of sugary snack. For me personally, I like to have a couple of canisters of Gluco Chews from Glucology. They are easy to stash in the car, don't get affected by the temperature, they're fast acting, they're easy to open without making a mess, unlike a bag of sugary treats, and they don't tempt you to just consume them as a snack. It may seem a bit irritating to take these precautions, and yeah, there would be a large portion of type 1 diabetics out there that don't actually check their levels before driving, and another portion that know that their level is below 5 and still choose to drive. But it only takes one mistake to have an accident. And as we all know, when on a sugar low, mistakes can happen. So always remember that just like wearing a seatbelt, as a type 1 diabetic, you must be
above 5 to drive.
And you should never feel afraid or embarrassed to just take a break or a pit stop just to make sure you can safely get from A to B. Alright, I'm good to drive. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you learnt a little something. And whether or not you're a diabetic that's driving or a passenger of one that's driving, that you take into consideration that a little break every now and then could prevent a much regrettable accident. I'm Ro from Life's Tough Questions, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, mister. Awesome. Yes, you want to be in the video too.